we do is, you'll see people doing asphalt work, contractors doing asphalt work, whatever, and they fill up tanks. What they have to do is they have to come to the water authority. We give them a meter, and along with the meter is a double check valve on with the meter. So when they hook to that hydrant, whatever they're filling, I don't know what kind of chemicals they would have in their tank. Because they just put the hose right inside the tank and they submerge the hose. There's no more air gap. The air gap was taken, the hose is inside, and they fill the tank up. So what we do at the water authority is, one, you're not allowed on a hydrant unless you have a hydrant meter, and it has to have a backflow. Not that we want to get the money for the water as much as we need to protect our system, so whatever they have in their tanks does not come back into our system. So when you drive around and you're looking in, when you leave this classroom, look around and see. You probably never pay attention to it, but if you pay attention to it, you'll see a lot of people on fire hydrants besides firefighters.
I was clued into that a few years back when I was still here in the building. I was out one day patrolling the building like I used to do, and there was a truck at the fire hydrant right out here. And they were looking up, and I went out and said, "What are you doing?" "Well, we're flushing our truck out." Well, whatever was in that truck, they had permission to do that, but whatever in that truck, if there was a loss in pressure within the building, and their pressure was greater, they were sending it right back into our building, or into that water supply system, whatever they had in that truck. And they had permission to do it. So it's, you know, if the danger's there. And what he mentioned air gap, just to, this is what is called an air gap right here. It's a distance between, all right, the fixture and the water table. That's an air gap. Now they're okay, all right, they're okay, but if this was not protected with this, that air gap wouldn't be sufficient if somebody came in and took this hose off and put a longer hose on, all right? So air gaps, and some people tell, well, that is an air gap, so it's okay, but it's not okay. Air gaps are not always.
Other side.
You see anything different in any of those jars?
More cloud.
See, all these are pretty cloudy. Look at this one.
This is a little brown box in it.
That's what we call the brown snowflakes. That's the flock. That's what you get when you put a coagulant in the water. It forms this flock. And this process is flocculation. This little paddle in there is mixing the water with the coagulant. So all the water is contacted with the aluminum sulfate. So you have the flocculation going on right here with the aluminum. With these here, I thought these might actually look like that, but apparently I brought some pretty dirty water in. I didn't get the water that we're using at the plant right now. I got river off the bottom of our reservoir that we don't treat. It's pretty stagnant right now because it's been sitting all summer long.
Why does only that one look like that and the rest don't?
This one here has the proper coagulant dose. If you don't have the proper coagulant dose, your water will not, the dirt will not stick together. And if you can't stick the dirt together, you can't filter it. It'll go straight through a typical water filter.
So that's good that that looks like that.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the actual, this is the proper flocculation part of the water treatment plant. This is kind of what it's all about. And almost the whole plant is designed to support this process. Because the pumps that pump the water from the lake and the tanks and the filters, they're all its main purpose is to remove this flock from the water. Otherwise, all the dirt and the microorganisms would not be filtered out. They go straight through a typical filter. So, I thought there would be more jars that would look better, but I actually thought I was overdosing this one. But the water's so filthy that my overdose was a proper dose.
Do you have to like test the water before you put in the chlorine and Zoom?
Yeah, we check the water to see how much chemicals we typically need to put in it. The river will change from minute to minute, and we check it more often at the river plant, the Keysport Indian Creek plant. The reservoir, it usually doesn't change daily, it changes seasonally, unless there's a very, very hard hurricane. Everybody see the flock? Like,
Yeah, it looks so weird.
that's what you're looking for when you're treating water.